We
There.
are we are live. We're live right now, and um, Flex Rex did a thing about incels and the fact that there is becoming a rather large male surplus into Europe, and a lot of these migrants are males. And what happens to a society that has a male surplus on a sociological level? What ends up happening with a large male surplus? And I don't think that it is a good outcome. Would you agree or would you disagree, Joey? Joey is not speaking at the moment, but I can.
I'm here. I'm here. Um, yeah, I'm wondering, what have you considered might be the reasons for the surplus?
Well, medical technology has come away, and it used to be that more male babies were born, but they actually did not survive infancy. And with the newer technology, uh, more males are being born and they're being saved. We have far better prenatal care. I mean, me, for example, my brother and I were both born premature, and we spent time in incubators. So I think there was a slight male surplus, um, and it's just continuing to grow amongst the breeding ages, 18 to 35. You're seeing a rather large male surplus. I don't know.
Don't forget, don't discount the cultural impact. Also, there's a whole lot of other factors. Uh, China is a good reason. Just in their culture, the Chinese have a huge sort of tendency towards males as a sex. They want to have more. They want to have larger numbers of men. So the prenatal care, the prenatal determination of the sex, has a huge factor. And so in China, there is a big imbalance, and there's other countries that do a similar sort of thing. There's also um, abortion rates and there's other factors.
Mm-hmm. Well, here in the United States, and this is 2000 and 2010. So, I mean, we can go to five. Now, as we see, under 5 years old, it's 9,800,000 males to 9,000,000 over 300,000 females, and then we get to 5 years old, then we go down to 10 years old, then 25. So 15 to 19 years of age, we're looking at over 10,391,000 for males, and then females, it's 828,886. So there's kind of a lot, in the as far as the dating pool
The
goes.
numbers are so small. What is that saying? I think it's, if you break it down, is it kind of what I read earlier is it's about 105 men per 100 women
In that age group, yeah.
Oh.
and the numbers are rather small. But if you go to from my understanding, if that these migrants that are going into Europe really make for a much larger imbalance, because a lot of these migrants are largely male, and when there's that large of a male surplus, then it creates for problems, and it has created for problems in foreign countries that have, for example, both India and China favor female male births, and they often will abort their female children.
Yeah, that's abortion.
And then we're looking to 25.
Also,
Yeah, go ahead.
also I'll add about 130 million missing women overall.
Although men
Just thought I'd throw that
are
in there.
men are more likely to die from disease early, and they're also they're 5 times as likely to be murdered, and I think they're about I don't know what the suicide rate is, but I know that more men commit suicide than women. So when we get to
Yes.
30 to 34 years of age, women, the gap starts lowering, and then when we get to 35 to 39 years of age, women start to edge up from men, 35 to 39, and then 40.
That's simply because women live longer than men.
Yeah. And then as it starts to creep up, there becomes more women, but women, the availability of women as far as birth, fertile and birth rates are less for males than they have been in, I believe, years past. Back in the 60s, and I think even in the 70s, females outnumbered men of breeding age far significantly. Not far significantly, but the numbers were, I believe, a tad reversed, and I think that has created a certain problem here, and the dynamic has made for a little bit of a difference. I don't know if you would agree with that, Joe, but I think that
I think more. Let me see. Am I off mute here? I think. I just think the women empowerment movement may have kind of also may skew the numbers a little slightly, and also more girls play video games now.
They do. They certainly play more video games. That is, I don't know how relevant that is, but I think again, for young men who are interested in spreading their seed at the young age, there's a slight male surplus, and then as you go further down the ratio, as women get older, that's when the numbers start to turn. And I think, to a degree, maybe there's a lot of younger men with older women. The MILFs and maybe even the GILFs are coming into play, because the younger women are getting the more successful, the more handsome man, and then the younger generation is kind of going to get the woman who's in her 40s and maybe late 30s, and that's what it looks like as of now. Joey, is there anything to add? Because I was going to make this a rather short show, unless you had some things to add. And I think the ratio is different in certain parts of Asia. I think maybe Thailand or or the Philippines may have a rather large female surplus because of um, medical. I mean, the medical treatment's not as good in the same thing as Latin America. Joe, is there anything to add before I end the show?
That is it. That is it. We covered all the basics.
Should I give Howard a link?
That's on you. Yeah, whatever you want to do.
You know what? I'm going to give him a link before I end the show and see if he has anything to add, probably to insult me. But I'll give him a link to insult me. Your link is here, Howard, so the longer you...
It's going to be more of the same.
Probably.
Darren is here. I think Dennis was here earlier. No, just Darren. I don't know if he's still here. I wonder if he has any comments on sex ratio. Well, why did you ask as we were about ready to end the show? It's like, that's what my dad does.
Yeah.
Right? Well, it's time to go. He'll go, hey, what about that?
Do you have a comment on do you have anything
Colombo.
What a
Colombo. You have no idea what goes on here in Asia. Why don't you come to Asia? Why don't you come to Asia and then you can break that ejaculation streak?
Oh God, unbelievable.
That horrible streak of no ejaculations.
Oh, so terrible, Howard. You're such a downer. You're such a downer, Howard.
Most of the men are gay.
Okay,
You forgot to mention how in the United States, most of the boys are just that. Like little boys, but more like little girls.
Amari Cohn. They're Amari Cohn.
Howard, I'm going to play a show. I'm going to get your guys' comment. I'll stop and
You're going to play a show?
I'm going to play a segment. This is Flex Rex. And it is...
Why is everything that you say today phallic?
It just worked out that way.
Yeah, he's got to get past the commercial.
All he has to do is use the Brave browser, and he wouldn't ever see a commercial.
And he'd earn crypto.
I don't see commercials.
Hush.
Mail.
Quiet.
He's not even ready.
Has he ever been ready?
He has no idea what we're about to see.
Mainstream media has basically branded a whole chunk of young men as being creepy, basement-dwelling losers, and has even given them the moniker incel. There is a much larger trend going.
And I wanted to mention that the first person, I think, the word wasn't used, but the person that comes to mind, Joe, is Poor Man and his Loveline show were the first ones to really bring out America's incels.
I brought this up to him because I know the Poor Man, and I told him your thoughts, and he looked horrified. First of all,
I'm sorry. Is the Poor Man somebody that you two know?
He completely ran away from the idea because I asked him to come on the show and talk about incels. He refused right off the top.
So this Poor Man is somebody that you two know, but nobody else knows.
He's a radio. Have you ever heard of the show Loveline?
No.
All
right, I'm going to continue to play this show.
Why?
He was popular in the 80s here in Los Angeles. He had a good show on K-Rock.
I'm not having a sex crisis. In fact, I've got too much.
Well, when you argue about its causes, the internet, educational attainment, modern social trends in dating and family formation, there is a well-understood consequence to a society that has a large gender imbalance, that meaning more men than available women.
Why does that guy in the back look like he's kind of gay?
Always been a part of the human experience. Many historians claim that the mismanagement of a migrant crisis 1700 years ago helped lead to the downfall of the Western Roman Empire. And it is the mass migration of people that are currently on the move, and with the West as their intended final destination, well, the social implications of this massive movement of people will become the defining issue of our time.
And don't forget these guys like butt sex
Consider one
with boys.
current migration toward the Western world stands out from other mass movements of people in recent times. And that is, it's made up primarily of men, and especially young men. And these young men coming from places like Africa and the Middle East are arriving in such lopsided numbers as to skew the gender balance of some countries in Europe to the point.
Couldn't you just said this?
All right. So that's happening in Europe. I don't think it is happening in Asia, these migrants.
That's because they don't let people come in because they want to.
Is that true is in Thailand as well?
Is what true in Thailand?
They
Again,
do not
another
allow-
general question.
They do not allow migrants into their country?
They allow them. They allow them at their level, not at the level that the world tells them. They don't give a shit. Plus, most of these men will think nothing of having sex with a young boy from behind. So I question the manliness of some of these men.
This gender imbalance could possibly ignite.
Why are you playing that again? Why don't you just say it?
And the reason for this
Why
is
do we have to go through this?
evolutionary psychology, which stresses competition for females.
She's a very manly-looking woman.
Can't make this go away via more education or more income redistribution. And everything will be explained in the next few minutes.
What kind of mating call is she
Definite training.
Mandate
doing? Oh, look at that. Oh.
corporate trials led by the fake news media continue that they will handiwork
I bet you he smells bad.
grandiloquent. Changing
Why do you watch this type of shit, Brian?
Because
I find it rather interesting. I don't know
This is
why.
amusing. I won't disagree with that, but
if you don't know what it means, then why would you show it to us? Because certainly nobody else knows either, and you're not helping. So why would you play something that nobody knows what it means?
you have some Indian guy talking. Yeah, he's definitely has your opinions, Brian.
I guarantee you that that guy's dick is a lot smaller than that sword.
Right to the gutter, Howard.
Okay, I'm going to say it, Brian, and I know it's not going to be
hoodwink.
not going to be
Most important,
politically correct.
eyes are not wide shut.
Asians have small dicks.
Oh, God,
Not all dicks are the same based on. Yeah.
In the world,
Oh yeah,
This is a
mostly
stereotype.
they're all.
Not everyone
small.
has.
men outnumber
Not all of
women.
them. I've seen some pretty big Asian dicks.
The Chinese
Have
health
you?
is described
Well, that would
Yeah.
be the exception.
newborns as the most serious and prolonged in the world, and a direct ramification of the country's strict one-child policy, which has since been abandoned, but also for the Chinese preference for boys rather than girls. Average 118
I call them spitters.
every 100 girls, and this is compared to a world average of 103 and 107 respectively.
Isn't that nice?
And why
They
does
like to spit.
is that because when there is a shortage of women in the marriage market,
They don't look like that in China.
inevitably leading to the least desirable men having no marriage prospects whatsoever.
Many of them are very ugly.
Eberstadt, in his book, The Demographic Future, well, he projects that by 2030, that 1 in 4 Chinese men will never get married. And numerous commentators are predicting that this situation will lead to increased levels of antisocial behavior. And
Yes.
Do you agree with that, Howard? Like
Will the Chinese men ever ejaculate? That's the question.
Jesus Christ, Howard! I thought you were going to bring something to the show.
Well, they
Except
have cream of some young guys, so it's possible.
Well, I
for
don't know
them
what
to
you're doing.
ejaculate.
But this is playing these videos is just boring.
But you're just okay. I'm bringing up the topic, and all you're bringing up is filth, Howard, and just
What is the topic? Wait, ejaculation is filth. So what are you, some kind of revivalist?
Now,
How dare you talk about that?
Angela says Congo has the largest average size.
Of
I
what?
would take Angela's word for it.
Oh yeah.
Size what?
Western world would work with India. They are closer to the U.S. than Chinese.
All right.
I would certainly take Angela's word for big sizes. So Angela can be the go-to for big dick size, cross burning, flammability of certain materials.
Howard, you are taking the show to the dregs.
To the dregs. That's a description of that's a noun. The dregs.
More.
So you really don't know what you're trying to say.
Howard, what did you say?
Well,
you
so
were
here it goes. Here it goes. I've just
This
had
is
my
awful
coffee.
anti-trans comments. How dare you?
Is that right? Oh, that's terrible. Well, I don't really care.
The
First of
trannies
all,
don't matter anyway.
Asians have small. Asians all
I'm asking.
Asians all have small dicks.
What
That's
is
provable.
What are you talking about? Where do you come up with this information? All Asians? Give me a break, Howard.
I said
Wait.
most Asians have small dicks. That
All white
is
guys
a
named
provable-
Brian have small dicks as well.
That's a provable facet of living here in Asia. You can't buy normal size condoms. Normal meaning ones that might fit Europeans and Americans. You can only buy a 56 millimeter. That would be the largest size. And that's 56 millimeters in circumference. Trust me, I made sausage last night, and one of my girlfriends remarked that that's the average size of most Asian dicks.
Howard, would you agree that most people have absolutely zero understanding and depth of range when it comes to subjects like biology?
Of course, because they don't learn anything. They watch videos.
It's ruining the world when you can't talk about things like that. I'm just saying. Personally,
Well, I've been attacked as a racist because I said that I can't buy anything larger than a 56 millimeter condom in Thailand. You can't. The normal American needs a condom at least 58 to 60 something, 62 millimeters. So there's a reason why they don't sell condoms here larger than 56 millimeters, because there's no market for it. Most Asian guys can certainly be covered quite adequately with a 56 millimeter condom.
wonderful.
No one is going to stretch that out.
Okay, wonderful. Can we move on from the rubber?
I wish I didn't end this show earlier.
Most of the men here are gay. If you look on Tinder, for example, my favorite hunting ground, if you look on Tinder and change, which I've done, if you change your preference from showing women to men, you will find that most of the men are very effeminate. Many of them claim to be gay. A good number of them are evolving. We don't know what they're evolving into, but they're evolving into something other than the traditional male.
Transforming.
Yeah, transforming, evolving. It's a code word. It's a code word for I'm kind of gay, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Anyway,
Now bring Angela on and have her tell me why I might be jealous, because I'm getting the women, they're not.
She said you're jelly. You're jelly.
Well, that's a very gay way to say that. I would never speak that way.
You're jelly. You're both full
You're
of
so jelly, Brian. Why so?
And I would
annoying?
prefer that you don't say that word either. Jelly.
jelly boy. You're,
Jelly is what you put on. Is what you put on cream cheese.
It's also what you put on your dick if it's KY jelly.
I'm so sorry Angela can't be with us today. She is in the ER again.
Well, how if she's in the ER? How's she texting?
will you say a prayer for her, Howard?
No, we don't know why she's in the ER. She might have killed somebody last night and brought them there.
It might be a lupus flare up. Who knows?
And who is this person with Love Face XX online?
Oh, hold on. Why is it that you can't read? Do you have? Are you dyslexic?
I don't know.
Brian did learn how to read.
He never reads correct. He never reads what's there. He makes up words.
Loveface.xyz. Online strips without clothing.
Who was that?
There you go. Yeah,
Why
free
are
commercial.
they talking in
Nobody knows what that
emojis?
means.
Why are they talking in emojis though?
I don't know. But
But women have a very small assortment to choose from here. And in America, you have to admit that most of your soy boys, your Antifa types, the types that have no muscular, they have no muscles. They walk around wearing all black. They have some bandana on their face. They like to hit people with bags full of quarters or something like that because they're a bunch of pussies. They're a bunch of little girls trying to act like men, acting out, trying to summon some testosterone just so that they can show the world that they have some relevance, which they don't. And imagine if you are a college student, 20 years old, and this is what you have to choose from. Okay, somebody snap their fingers and see if you can snap him out of it.
I have now, listen, I was primarily talking about sex ratio.
Yes.
And evolved into, well, I guess penis size might be a deal with sex ratio and probably women.
Why would that be a deal with the sex ratio?
It might be a factor.
Are you aware
Pornography
that
is also
sperm
a factor,
swim?
Brian. You're forgetting pornography.
Are you aware that sperm swim?
Yeah, but it's not always on my mind.
It's not. Well, that's because you've not had regular ejaculations. You're a man stuck in an apartment.
Howard, you are the gutter.
Brian needs a helping hand with those ejaculations, doesn't he?
You guys are gutter. This is gutter. This is turning into the gutter, guys.
Do you realize that if you get so fat, your hands won't reach?
I've lost weight and I have fasted, Howard.
Why did you think I was talking about you?
Because you said you.
I said, did you realize, comma, that would be, now there's another thought coming.
That
You completely dismissed what I said.
You said you, comma.
I said, do you realize?
Do you realize that you can get so fat that you can't reach?
Yes. Is that referring to you?
It was a good guess.
Have you been one of those people on the airplane that can barely fit in the middle seat and torment the poor people on the window in the aisle?
There was a time I was close to. Howard, have you ever been close to 300 pounds?
No.
What, are you about 5'4", right?
I'm 5'7". Used to be 5'8", but I think I have to allow for shrinkage.
Yeah, you're a shrinking old man.
5'4". I'm sorry, you were saying something about 300 pounds. What were you trying to say?
I was at one time. I don't know why I'm even saying this because it doesn't do any good. I was at one time close to 300. I was 292 pounds.
That's a big boy.
That is a big boy, but I I'm now down to 228 pounds, Howard. So I've lost quite a bit.
228 pounds.
How much you, Howard?
It's a little hard to believe, but I have seen him weigh himself, and he is surprisingly lighter than I would have.
Because he's lost muscle mass. Why are you shaking your head?
You are
Muscle
such a-
weighs more than fat.
He
You
still looks
lost
like a
muscle
fat
mass.
cabbie, no matter how you look at it.
He does look like a cabbie. I will agree with that.
You'd get out. I'd throw you out of my cab, Howard.
You would look fantastic in a yellow cab.
When's the last time you rode a yellow cab? Have you ever ridden one before, Howie?
They do have yellow colored cabs here, but I don't usually ride cabs because cab drivers are pretty much the low lifes of Thailand.
Are
They're
they?
known to cheat. They're known to cheat. They're known to, oh, meter broken. I take you, give you a good deal. 10 times what the meter would be. I like to look at them, open the door on the other side of the cab. And when they do that, I say, fuck you. And then I leave the door open and walk away.
You sound awful.
What sounds awful?
Leaving the door open and walking away.
That's awful. The man just tried to cheat me for 10 times what the meter would be. He's lucky that's all I do.
Donning, I'm 5'9.5". I used to be 5'11", but I've shrunk.
Now, there is the mark of a man who counts half inches. Why don't you explain to me why in Asia, where the metric system is the rule, why do ladyboys advertise their dick sizes in inches?
Howard, I don't.
The metric act.
I'm sorry, wait a minute. Did you just lose your stoic calm?
Why do you say that? That's got nothing. You have devolved this show. You have devolved this show, and
Do
You
you?
have lost your stoicism. JP, can you help him get
I know
his
how
stoicism
tasty
back?
Ladyboy
trying,
penises
I'm
can
trying
be,
to-
Brian.
Do you know anything
You're
about
pain.
the Metric Act of 1866?
I
How-
do not. I do not.
It's a
But I can
fascinating.
tell you that here in Asia, lumber, pipes, trash bags are all in inches.
Let me ask you this. It's very interesting. I don't know if you know it or not, but I'll probably, this is just my final point on this matter. Do you know with the Metric Act in
I said
1866?
I do not.
I'm going to tell you right now. Do you find it interesting that a newborn, a baby, is measured in standard weight, while the afterbirth, considered born alive in legal terms, is measured in metric?
That's because it needs to be put on the shelf and sold next to the meat.
Where's that baby's placenta, JP?
It's something to think about. It's just-
Yes. I'm going to spend an awful amount of time thinking about it.
June, do you have a birth certificate?
Yes, I do.
There it is. You found your placenta. Good job.
now
It's not a placenta, JP. That's a piece of paper.
I want to mention to everyone that there's going to be a lot of putting shows. I think, and I'll talk to Joe about this. Putting shows on private that are a little bit more randy, and they have
Randy? What does
Randy,
that mean?
Randy.
you know what that
Randy.
it's an old word.
and where they have to search for the Rumble page to get the most.
First of all, I'm sorry, but you're such a coward. Stop it.
Okay. Is there anything?
Stop it.
This show is devolved. I was talking.
You spent the entire beginning of this show talking about large members. The only word that you didn't use was throbbing.
Howard, you brought up the topic. I never brought up anything about large members.
Why are you laughing when you say that?
Howard, you're making things up, and you were the one that brought up wiener size.
Howard, why are you asking about throbbing wieners?
It's just
Now, I can tell you that sausage here in Thailand is very poor.
Yeah, Chinese.
It's very tasty. Well, the Isan sausage is quite good, but what they call a hot dog is just terrible.
This is going nowhere.
Why are
real
the
dog?
How do you make a bad hot dog? What are they putting in it?
Oh, the
Real
Asians
dog?
the Asians know how to. It tastes like rubber. It has a very strange consistency, and it has very little taste. I've been buying real sausage lately, Irish sausage, British, English sausage. I like my sausage in the morning. What about you, Brian? You like sausage in the morning? I like a big, long piece of sausage in the morning.
Stupid.
How about you?
Of course, I like. You know what, Howard? What is it? Why are you doing this?
I'm sorry, doing what?
Is he looking up recipes? Is he ordering food?
You
No,
made Brian hungry talking about sausage.
He's breaking that fast. He's saying, wow, I've been fasting for 3 hours so far. I need a really good. Now, see, in America, you could get yourself a really a delicious meal made just of sausage and tomato sauce. The beauty of going to a restaurant, I miss fine dining.
Yeah, it's sort of a passe kind of thing now, though.
It's terrible that it has gone the way of the Brian. I don't know why.
I think I don't think fine dining will. I don't know. I guess fine dining might survive in some way, but I don't.
Fine dining will come back.
You think it'll come back, huh? Okay.
I don't know. Has anybody noticed that we're not talking about the virus?
I think more and more people are kind of like over it, right?
It's done. It's done for now until they. Oh, by the way, I do have a theory you might find interesting. Did you ever wonder why some countries have a hard time with the virus, even Omicron, and yet other countries just skate by? Nobody dies. People don't get very sick. It's just the common cold. Why do you suppose it's different in different countries? And is there a pattern?
Propaganda.
I'm sorry. How much is that plate of French fries at the bottom right?
I don't know.
Are those sweet potato fries?
I couldn't eat it.
Why?
Too much carbs.
Well, I have to admit that I have been
You
eating
need at
carbs.
least one cheat day, Brian. Just cheat a bit.
No, well,
Just cheat, Brian.
they
Just
tell you that
cheat.
if you don't need to watch what you eat if you're fasting. How much is
All
a
right,
regular
Brian.
plate of French fries?
Brian, I'm gonna bail out of here. I don't want to watch you order your dinner.
No, I'm not going to
Well,
order.
no. I
Stop-
think we should watch
Stop
him order his
ordering your
dinner.
dinner on your
Whoa,
show,
what the
Brian.
hell?
Just
And
end your show already. It's
Let me ask.
Come on.
Tell the story how I tracked the two of you down to some.
I want to know who Love Face is. Who is Love Face?
Tell the story about how I tracked you down one day at some Cuban sandwich place in Los Angeles.
You did?
You don't remember? You don't remember the proprietor coming out and talking to you?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you. Why did you do that?
Because I could. Tell the story. It's a great story. And I want to remind you of the reach of the one angry Jew all the way from Thailand to a restaurant that you drove up to.
It was called Okie Dog, Joey was there, and they said your mom called, and my mom's been dead for years. And it turned out to be.
I draw the picture a little better, Brian. I mean, you okay? It was really funny. So we were doing a taste test on pastrami. What was it? I don't forgot what we were eating. It was really
They were
disgusting.
hot dogs. Hot dogs.
Oh,
the
okay.
original dog.
This was supposed to be some kind of fantastic hot dog place.
The original
That
hot
just-
Pokey dog. What they
Yeah.
do is they make hot dog burritos. So it's like a hot dog with chili, pastrami, cheese wrapped in a tortilla, and it was really bad. But when we got there, we get in, and the guy looks at us and he asks us that question. Wait, Brian, what did he ask?
Your mom called and told him like there's something wrong with the heater.
And so I think I wasn't sure who it was. I thought it was.
But he addressed him by name.
He did. Yeah, he did. Are you Brian? He goes, "Are you Brian?" He goes, "Yeah, yeah." He goes, "Got a message for you."
The
Oh,
dude,
man, that's funny.
I'm sorry. Is any of that Baba Ganoush?
that's a Henry Hill dog.
I'm sorry. What is that? Just a bun and no dick inside?
I can't.
All right, guys. You know what?
Did you hang up on JP?
Guys, I gotta get going. I'm getting tired.
This was a terrible.
You're getting tired. You're not getting tired. You're just getting hungry.
No, I'm gonna go to bed. Guys, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below.
I think you should order food right now.
You can't click on it there, but on the last Stoic Com show, you can. So,
What does a meal cost on Grubhub if you were to order something right now?
$25
For what? What do you get for $25?
a sandwich.
A sandwich. Hold on a second. Show me a sandwich that's $25.
It's not 20, but that's the added price.
Okay, show me a sandwich with the added price that's $25.
Not because I have to order it, Howard. I have to go.
What
Like
if you just ordered spaghetti carbonara?
it would
A
cost
fettuccine carbonara. What would that cost?
$25 at least. All right, guys, it's something around the $20 range, Howard.
It would. And what would you get with it?
Just that, and maybe some breadsticks.
So for $25, 25 US dollars, you would get fettuccine carbonara. Now, would that be fresh fettuccine, freshly made, or would that be stiff, very stiff fettuccine that's boiled?
You know what? I don't know if I'm not from the East Coast, so I probably couldn't tell the difference.
That's a sad statement.
Well, I wonder if you're a bigger fan of Italian food or deli food.
Oh, well, since I haven't had a good corned beef special in over 6 years, I would definitely be on the side of some deli food and a big pickle. Don't forget the big pickle.
I wonder if they have better in Philly or Los Angeles.
Probably Philadelphia. Now, see, here's the thing. I'm going to make a few sausages for lunch. And these sausages are about the average size of a Thai penis.
All right, Howard. All right, I gotta go.
They're not very big. They're bite-sized.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Thank you for listening.
They're bite-sized